Today on Singles Court, Eve's stewing about their failing business. She's cooked up a plan to save the restaurant.
And I have someone who's a very good friend of mine that's willing to help us financially.
But Tyler has some serious reservations, which he wants to put on the table.
I don't know what the terms are.
He wants to be.
I don't want to be another waiter in my own restaurant.
And Mandy and Tim split for a year. Now they're back together. And Mandy wants the 411 on what was going on.
What have you been doing?
I'm not gonna tell you, that's what this is about.
But Tim's taking the fifth on who he's been doing.
Would you believe me if I told you now? Would you believe me if
Yes,
I told you?
I would.
Hello and welcome to Singles Court. This is the place where singles hammer out the differences that they couldn't nail down themselves. And who better to help them than a woman who's an author, a lecturer, she even owned and ran her own dating service. So believe me, she knows what she's talking about. She is relationship expert Angela Siegel.
Hi, David.
How are you today?
I'm doing fine. You know, I spent all last night back in that chat room again. I tell you, people keep asking me the same questions.
What is that?
Where's the best place to meet people?
Right.
And I'm like, you're in it.
You're in the chat room?
Yeah, right.
I think you spend too much time in that chat room.
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah, I know you do.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Angela, meet Eve and Tyler. They are a romantic couple who own a restaurant together. Now, sad to say, the restaurant is failing miserably. Now, someone Eve knows has stepped forward to bail them out. But Tyler has a bad feeling about their supposed white knight. It's the case of the busted Beanery, or we don't need another hero.
Eve, what's happening with the restaurant?
You should maybe ask him what's happening.
Oh, don't start, please.
He likes to be in charge and talk, so we'll let him go ahead.
Oh, she asked you a question. Just answer the thing, man.
Okay. Let's start with the fact that you all have a restaurant together, but do you also have a relationship together? Or are you?
We had a relationship together.
So you no longer are dating.
I'm staying at my mother's house. We are still dating per se. Basically, we have been going out for about 2 years. We started our own business, which I was a little reluctant. You know how they say lovers, business doesn't mix.
Oh, please.
We tried it. Basically, he messed everything up. He got the lease.
Make a long story short.
I'm going to make a long story short. That's what we're here for, right? The lease, he did everything about the lease. It's just, I think it was supposed to say 2 months, but there was a 1 in front, so it's like 12 months. Or 12 years, I'm sorry. Not 2 years, but 12 years. Who has a lease for 12 years? Then
Please.
The loan
Well, wait,
terms.
I have a question. If this was a joint business, how was he able to make the decisions all alone? Why weren't you involved?
Because he wanted to be the man and go and make those decisions. He wanted to
no.
all take care of the business.
You weren't there.
Why did I let him?
Yeah.
You weren't there.
Basically, I
He's
didn't.
not your husband, so anything he signed, you had to sign as well. So.
Thank you
Well,
very
I know,
much.
but
You
he
weren't
wanted
there.
to take care of that part, and then I had my part that I was taking care of. We both had, we delegated duties.
Oh.
I'm sure you learned a lesson behind that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I learned a huge lesson.
Tyler, what happened? How did you go from starting out with the idea of having a restaurant to ending up not in good situation with it?
Well, basically, I mean, we started out this like we're supposed to share the responsibility, so to speak. Okay, I admit that I made some mistake when I signed the lease and several other things with the furniture, but there were decisions
all you had to do was
that
call me,
needed to be
call my
made,
cell phone,
right?
like,
There were
give me a
decisions
call
that
and
needed to be
ask.
made.
Okay,
I tried
our
calling her.
walls are red. I
Okay?
painted the walls. The walls are
She's got
red.
a
You know
cell
what he got?
phone.
He got
she puts
green
the
chairs with,
voicemail
like,
on. She
purple
doesn't call
polka
me
dots.
back. Okay?
How do
but I
green
got to make a
chairs with
decision
purple
on the
polka
spot.
dots fit a red
okay?
wall?
How am I supposed to make all those decisions by myself and she's not going to return my call?
So, right, here's my question, because it sounds like you all had some real relationship issues in even opening the restaurant. It sounds like there was not a lot of communication going on. Am I right?
No, you are right,
Obviously.
and I agree to that
Because
too.
I
I
don't know-
didn't as well.
Okay, so
Yes,
both
I agree
of-
to that.
Okay, so you both have to take responsibility for that part of it.
Yeah, I take
I'm taking
responsibility for that,
responsibility for that.
totally.
Okay, so you both take responsibility for the fact that the restaurant's failing.
Yes.
Now, what can I do for you today?
I'm trying to get us out of that, and I have someone who's a very good friend of mine that's willing to help us financially to get us the money. Basically, in 4 days, they're going to lock the doors because we're 4 months behind in our lease. And then what they'll do is the contents that we have, they'll start to sell it.
Okay, so you have a friend who wants to help.
Yeah.
So what's the problem with that?
Well, she says she has a friend that wants to help, but I want to know what are his terms. I mean, if you're gonna
You
bring
don't
in
know?
money, if you're gonna bring money, I don't know the terms.
He
I
just
don't know
said-
what the
he just
terms
said
are.
he wants to be-
I don't
his-
want to be another waiter in my
His
own
terms
restaurant.
are minimal. His terms
Okay,
are
what
minimal.
are
He
his
just said
terms?
he's just a really good friend. He's an entrepreneur
He's a
himself.
really good
He has a
friend.
lot of expendable
Right.
money, and he just said he will basically give us the money to get us out of debt, just to help. That's it, just to help us.
No strings attached?
No, and
No
we pay him
strings
back.
attached.
We pay him
That's what
back with
she's
like a
trying to tell me.
small, like maybe like 2% or something. He just really wants
I'm
to
sorry.
help.
Well, it sounds like you have no choice here. I mean, it sounds
No,
like you're in a desperate
no, we don't have
situation.
any choice. And he's a very good friend of mine. I trust him. You
So
mean to tell me
Tyler-
if you didn't have extra money, like you're an entrepreneur and
If
one of
I
your
had
friends
much
needed
money,
money, you
I
wouldn't
would
help
give it.
them?
But I
Tyler,
want something out of
exactly.
it.
Tyler, what's the problem with that proposal? If the interest rate's low, and if you have a contract,
And you
what's the
haven't found
prob-
another way to get us out of it.
What's the problem? Why would you
But-
not accept that? You'd rather go bankrupt and have the restaurant go
No,
under?
I would not rather go bankrupt.
Okay,
but,
so?
But the problem is what she's not telling you.
Okay,
He used
what
to
is
be
she
her
not telling you?
ex-boyfriend.
So?
Yeah, so
He,
X.
he dumped her.
Thank
He
you.
was married. He's now divorced, and he wants to come in like the white knight. I don't think so.
So
Just
you're
like
not
that.
comfortable with the relationship between the two of them?
See, that's the whole
Thank you
thing.
very
He doesn't
much.
trust me, I think. And
I
this-
don't.
Why not?
But what am I supposed to do?
But do the two of you, I guess you all have not established for me your relationship. I mean, are you
Right now, it's like nada.
Now, right now, she's like she said, she's at her mother's.
I'm very
and I'm still
angry.
at the apartment.
He's very
okay.
angry.
So if you're not together anyway, what do you care?
Well, our
Because
business it's the business. We're
No,
gonna.
I mean, what do you care
in
about?
4 days, we're
no,
gonna lose.
No. What do you care about whether or not it's her ex or whether she's sleeping with him? What's it to you?
Because I do care about her.
Oh. So you care about her, but she's not your girl. Is that what you're saying?
Right now, things aren't working the way they're supposed to.
Okay. Now, why do you think that is?
Well, I'm not. The mistakes we made with the restaurants.
That could be a part of
you know,
it.
that's part of it.
So call me crazy, but don't you think that if you have a plan to save the restaurant and give you an opportunity to work together to make it better, then maybe you might get your girl back?
Yeah, but the problem is that this guy is, like I said, her ex-boyfriend. He's very successful. He's an entrepreneur.
So you feel threatened by what he is?
I do feel
That's all it is,
threatened
I
at
think.
because I don't
I
know
think
what
he
I
has a
stand.
trust me and he feels threatened.
But Eve, do you care about him?
Yes, of course
Okay.
I do.
So what are you going to do to make him not feel threatened? Besides saying to him, well, he's.
I don't know what else I can do. I've
What
tried
have you
everything.
done? Which would be what? Give me an
Everything.
example.
I've told him. We've talked about it. Basically,
Talked
you know,
about what?
relationship-wise
Nah, it
right
doesn't
now.
sound like you talked about
Okay,
it.
Talked about
honestly,
what?
okay, I'm gonna be
Exactly.
honest. Relationship-wise right now, I guess I pushed the relationship problems to the back because I'm so worried about the business right now. In 4 days, we're gonna be. That's it. They're
Okay,
gonna
but
lock
let's-
up the
okay,
place.
but let's
and
assume you take the money from your ex.
Right.
Okay. So now once you take the money from your ex, what are you going to do to make him feel good about the fact for the relationship that he doesn't have to worry about you going back to your ex?
Thank you very much. That's maybe not a problem.
What are you
Because
gonna
I
do?
don't know.
Why don't- If you button your lips, you might find out.
This is why too. I can't. He's just
No, you
on
haven't
me.
tried.
Yeah,
No,
I
you
think we
haven't
need to hear
tried.
some positive
How
things.
about
Eve.
the answer? What are you going to do to help him feel secure in the fact that he doesn't have to worry about you going back with the ex? Because it does sound fishy.
I don't know what I can do. I've told him. He knows how
Let's
I feel
think
about him.
about
We're
it.
arguing.
Let's think about it.
What do you want me to ask him to marry me or something, or give him a ring? Like I don't know what.
No. How about establishing the relationship and letting us know what is the relationship between you and your ex? Will you go back to him?
No, oh no. I've told him that millions of times. I just don't think he believes me. I was dumped by him, yes. I was hurt for a long time. I got over it. Basically,
you
he
haven't.
moved down and he got married.
No, you have
Why
not
haven't
gotten
I?
over it.
He thinks just because he's successful and he's an entrepreneur as well, he thinks that I might look at Harrison as, oh my God, Harrison, I wish you could be
But
like
do
him.
you understand-
I don't though.
But do you understand, Eve, that it's not so much what you tell him, it's what you show him.
Thank you very much.
You've got
She hasn't been showing me
Are
any
you
of
going to
that.
be willing to? Are you going to be willing to show him that he's the man?
I tried to show him he was the man.
Are you willing to?
I don't know, because last time I let him be the man, it got messed up, and that's why we're in this predicament.
Yeah, because
But
you
you have to
wanna
I'll be
know.
back
understand,
with my
though.
resolution. The restaurant's closed. Mistakes cannot be blamed on one person when you're in a joint venture. If you look the other way and said, well, he made all the decisions, he was the man, I wasn't there, when in reality, you have to take responsibility for it as well, because even if you allowed him to make the decisions, he could only do it because you let him. And it was a joint venture, both of you all had decided to start a restaurant, so you both should have been involved in all of it. I'm sure if it would have worked out great, you would have taken the credit, so you have to also take the fall when there are mistakes made. It's a cop-out if you do it any other way. Tyler, you can't use your own insecurities and your own pride to stand in the way of salvaging your dream. You wanted a restaurant, you got a restaurant, you made some mistakes, and now you have an opportunity to save it. So sometimes you have to let your pride kind of sit by the wayside. And if it's a good business deal, and if it makes sense, take the money. That's the bottom line. If it makes good sense, there's no reason not to do it. You know, storms come and go in every relationship. Everybody has them. But what happens is the one that's quickest to bail out is usually the one that's quickest to blame. And in this situation, that was you, Eve. You were quick to blame him. And you didn't want to take responsibility, and that's how you all ended up in the situation you're in. You have what could be looked at as a savior in a plan that may, in fact, save the restaurant. But you must remember, if you take the money from the ex, you have to realize that he needs to stay out of the picture. You need to if you're going to make the relationship and the business work, it has to be a team. He needs to stay out of the picture, because when there's too many cooks in the kitchen, your relationship is definitely going to be burned. And that's the final word.
Next on Singles Court, Mandy and Tim split for a year. Now they're back together, and Mandy wants the 411 on what was going on.
I just want you to tell me what you did.
I'm not gonna tell you. That's what this is about.
But Tim's taking the fifth on who he's been doing.
Would you believe me if I told you now? Would you believe me if
Yes,
I
I
told
would.
Welcome back to Singles Court. I'm David Knight. We're back with two more singles who have a relationship problem. Who better to help them than the woman with the final word, Angela Siegel.
David, I'm telling you, all the women want to know, where's David? How long does David work? What time does David get off?
I know. I get those calls all the time.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm going to start charging admission.
Really?
Yes.
Nice. I want a cut of that. I deserve that. Angela, meet Tim and Mandy. Tim is a water ski salesman, and Mandy is a telephone operator. Mandy's dying to know what Tim's been up to while they were apart. She's broken up about the lack of info during their breakup. The problem is, Tim's not the kiss and tell sort of guy and refuses to talk about it. This involves a wild imagination, but a lack of details. I call this the case of the need to know, or what's been going on.
Well, Mandy, it seems to me you should be happy that you all got back together, right?
And I am, and things have been great. I mean, originally I was really dependent on Tim, and it seems like he's totally changed, and I've changed, and we're really happy together. I want to know what happened in the last year, and he's not telling me.
But, I mean, why? What is your purpose for wanting to know?
Well, I mean, we had this really nice dinner, and we both had been up to some things during the last year, and I felt that...
But you broke up, right?
We broke up, okay. Yeah.
So you were together, and then you broke up?
Yeah.
And then you were not together for a year?
For a year.
Okay, and then you got back together?
Right.
But I don't understand why you need to know what happened.
I just think for honesty's sake, I think if we're going to be completely honest and have a better relationship, then he should tell me what he was up to. I told him. I freely divulged information. I told him that I hadn't slept with anybody.
So you don't really want to know what he did. You want to know if he slept with anybody specifically.
Yeah, because I told him, because not that I really care. I just want to know either way.
Now, isn't that her choice to say what's going on and his choice not to?
Bingo. Tell me, Tim, how do you feel about the fact that she wants to know who you slept with?
Well, it was all well and fine. I mean, we had a dinner not too long ago. It was great. We connected in a way that we hadn't ever, I don't think. So everything it was wonderful, and I thought it was going to be great. And she even went so far as to say, you know what? Let's not remember last year. Let's pretend it never happened. Where we were, who we slept with, if anybody, forget it all. Doesn't matter. She said that it was her idea, and so we agreed. We made a pact.
Okay.
And now she wants to know, and that's what irks me.
Well,
He's got a point.
No,
You got a big point.
I know, but now I'm just wondering, like...
We didn't ask you all that.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, now he's not telling me, and I'm starting to think, well, maybe he was, involved in a whole bunch of one-night stands and orgies.
No, Mandy.
Yes?
He's not
Orgies.
telling you because you told him not to tell you, remember? You made a pact, and you said, let's not talk about it.
I know, but I just think people should know, we need to know our sexual history.
Well, then why did you say that?
For safety's sake.
But then why did you say that if you didn't mean it?
Well, then I just got to thinking, because he accepted readily, this pact he accepted quite readily, and I just thought, it got me curious, and I just want to know.
Well, let's back up here, Mandy. Would you have had a different reaction had he said, no, I want to tell you? No, don't tell me. I mean...
Maybe, I don't know, maybe.
Come on.
I know. I just think if we're going to be more honest, he should tell me.
Let's start being honest. Let's start with you. You originally told him that you didn't care, which was a lie. You do care.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it seems like because he's been involved in a lot of things. I think he might have been involved in orgies and I for my sexual safety, my health.
Well, you know what? If you're that concerned about that, for your sexual safety and health, he wears a condom. That's your sexual health.
So are you going to be...
with you, if that's what you're really concerned about.
Yeah, well, now I'm wondering...
Look, I care about you. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And if I would worry about your health if I cared about you. So I would never have unprotected sex. That's stupid.
Oh, great. So you did have sex. Okay, that's just
great.
great.
I didn't say that. I didn't say I had sex.
How many
I didn't
was
hear
it?
him say that.
4 or 5 girls? I don't really...
Mandy.
Yeah.
You know what? It's like your head is spinning around. I'm waiting for you to start spewing green throw up.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense to me why 1 minute you're saying one thing, you mean something else. 1 minute you want him to do one thing, you mean something else.
If he doesn't tell me, I'm out of here.
Tell you what?
I want to know what he did in the last year. I'm walking.
But Mandy, think about this. If he says to you, I didn't sleep with anybody, what do you really know? All you know is what he says.
Well, I would like to hear. It doesn't really matter.
I can't believe you're going to end it over this.
I am going to end it over this.
After you told me not to do it.
I am going to.
You said, let's not talk about it. Now you want me to talk about it, and that's grounds for ending the entire relationship?
Well, yes.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. I mean, do you have a little thing we can mark her and make sure she doesn't
But I'm just
start
thinking
spewing
that he was really kinky in the past, and now I'm thinking he was off maybe in Thailand with like underage girls or something. It's just, it's ridiculous. He is a kinky guy.
Okay, but Mandy,
And
the same kinky guy was the guy you had a relationship with for all that time, and then you rekindled a relationship with him again. So what? I'm missing something here. It's like, what's up with you? You have sand in your head or something? What's the problem?
You gotta trust me. I don't want to have to justify every time I go on a business trip that I didn't have sex with somebody. If you don't trust me now, you're never gonna trust me.
It's not even about trust, because trusting him within the relationship now is one thing. Why are you so concerned about that 1 year you weren't even together?
Because I want to have an honest relationship, and I just want you to tell me what you did. I told
Going in
you.
circles.
We
Going
agreed
in
not to talk
circles.
about it. I didn't ask you to tell me. You
Well,
volunteered the
It
information.
seems like he's now been involved in orgies, and he's been
did you get
involved
that?
with Thai
Whoa, how
girls,
are you getting
and
that?
I'm
Whoa.
sitting here like a big loser because I wasn't involved with anybody, and my friends think I'm a big loser, and now I'm going to be dependent on
What
him
do your
again.
friends have to do with this?
Well, they do. The girls talk, and
Who
now
cares
they.
about your friends? I don't.
Well, look.
Do you care about her friends?
I don't
I
know
don't
her
care about her
friends.
friends. They have nothing.
Mandy.
This is just ridiculous.
Mandy.
Now I'm going to be dependent on him.
No. You need to be dependent on a couch, a therapy couch where you need to lay down, because obviously you have some issues here. You keep going around this merry-go-round. You build up in your head that he's been in an orgy, been to Thailand, all these things. But those are all in your head. They never happened.
No, but he's not telling me, so how am I supposed to
therefore
know?
You're
make
making
up
stuff
something?
up.
Well, I don't know. What have you been doing?
I'm not going to tell you. That's what this is about. You've got to trust me. I trust you. I didn't ask you to tell me.
What does it? Let me ask you a question, Mandy. What changes by you supposedly knowing what he did last year? What changes?
Honesty.
Right. Nothing. Just like what came out of your mouth. Nothing. Nothing changes. So do you see why it makes more sense to move on?
I don't think it's going to matter what he says, because you're just going to continue to have your imagination flowing everywhere.
A scary imagination it is.
Would you believe me if I told you now? Would you believe me if
Yes,
I
I
told
would.
She wouldn't. I mean, it doesn't matter. It has no bearing on the relationship as it is today. Do you love this man? Do you want to be with this man?
Do you love me?
Yes, I love you. That's why I'm here. I love you. That's why I'm here.
It's like you first. All the
How
time.
much do you love me?
A lot.
Mandy, you're 2 steps short of getting Pampers on your butt. I'm going to resolution. I don't know if you're immature or just out of touch, but you use the old line, let's not talk about our past. And then you were hoping that he would turn around and say to you, oh, but I want to tell you everything that I've done, and it didn't work. He said, okay. And then you thought, oh. And then you tried to flip the script again, and you kept flipping the script and flipping the script. And it's just stupid. I mean, there was no benefit in it. No matter what he told you, you already had your mind made up of what he was already doing. I mean, you had more drama packed in his life than I've seen on Melrose Place. I mean, you made Melrose Place look dull. You say you love her, and I believe that. And you did the right thing by sticking to your guns. She said she didn't want to know, and there was really no reason for her to know, because your past was really not relevant to the future that you're trying to build with Mandy. Everybody that comes into a relationship comes in it with a past. That's how they come into the relationship. The past has to be revealed delicately and with care. You chose to do neither. You said, don't tell me because I'm going to think it up in my own head what I think you were doing. And you made your mind up who he was doing, where he was doing it. You had this whole scenario put together, and it didn't even make sense. And what you were doing was sabotaging the opportunity to be able to have a relationship. Tim cares about you, and you have an opportunity to get back together. Forget about what happened last year. That was a year ago. You didn't see each other. It doesn't matter. Now's a chance to build a future together, and that's what you need to concentrate on. Because one thing you'll find is that with relationships, they work a whole lot better when you save the drama for your mama. And that's that, the final word.
As we leave you for another day, I'll just say this. If you can't stand the heat, stay out of the restaurant business. And some imagination is good, but too much can land you in some strange territory. We'll see you next time on Singles Court. A final word for singles.